if you have a government official, whoever it is, asking you for votes, ask him how he's gonna achieve what he's doing. You cannot go up and vote for someone just because they are saying vote for me because I will do this. You have yes. The first things first, we are going to talk about the India's poor. So hello and welcome. And starting from, I would really like to talk about a few things that Indians do. We as a species, as a people, as a what's a good word for us? Neanderthal brained idiots. If we switch here, see, the thing that I want to talk about is like this Indian mindset of and thinking like, oh, we are a people of constant scams and frauds. This is why India is a third world country. Little things like jumping on the gate, not paying for the train ticket, littering, scamming, etc. has turned into a systematic issue done by over 1.5 billion people. First of all, we are 1.4. I am sorry. That 0.1 billion is important to me. So, and like you have like shit like this. Can you hear this properly? Like, we have to understand this. Like, you have to know why this happens. Because Indians are not taught empathy. Indians are taught to like take advantage of things and take advantage of like any situation that comes across. And that becomes a problem when they grow up. Because in India, there is no collectivism. There is no thinking about the other person. And it is really and amazingly shown within like the middle class and the upper middle class. They are not even like the bourgeois. They are the proletariat which hates the other proletariats. Like, look at this. This is from, I don't know, a rich person's understanding of poverty in India still baffles me. Okay, yeah, that is true. See, in India, this is not a rich person. Even if she has a tattoo on her neck, even if she's working 9 to 5, she is still the proletariat, if I'm saying that correctly. I wish Nofi was here. Please correct me. So it's like this person thinks that they are rich because they have money, but they do not own any means of production. They are not the top 1%. They are going 9 to 5 every single day, one bad paycheck away from losing everything, and this is what they want.
एक गरीब को उठना ही नहीं है. एक गरीब अपनी सोच को बढ़ाना ही नहीं चाहता. He wants to just.
Oh wait, hold on. Let's do this because a lot of people don't understand Hindi, so captions are good.
Lay down on a floor and he wants to be like, नहीं मैं गरीब हूँ, मैं ऐसे ही अपनी ज़िंदगी निकालूंगा, मेरी पीढ़ी इसी में जाएगी. और अमीर इंसान अमीर क्यों है आज की डेट में? क्योंकि वो मेहनत करने पे बिलीव करता है, वो अपनी सराउंडिंग चेंज करता है, वो अपने आप को उस जगह सजाने की कहते हैं ना, अपने आप को तराशता है.
That is so fucking untrue. Like, you will see like poor people going around the world, going around India for jobs. Like, you can see like the amount of immigration that happens within just India to for people to make their own lives better. Like, okay, this is untrue. Like, I know rich people, and trust me, I do. I used to live in Pune. I know people who own like companies, like 2 or 3 at the same time. They are still living in their same house. They sleep until like 10 p.m. in the morning or like 1 p.m. in the morning, and like do shit all. Like, they have no idea what it means to actually work and what struggle means. But these people are, and this person thinks that she is part of those. She's part of that 1%. And that is the problem, because middle class people and upper middle, even up, I would say even upper middle class people at this point, because everyone is so fucking poor, all of the parameters of like what do you mean by middle class, upper middle class have like just shut down like than they were before. Like we have literally like the upper class that owns like companies and shit and means of production, and then we have literally everyone else, which is like 99.9% of the entire population of India. And then she is made to think that she is not the poor she is talking about. She is made to think that there is someone beneath us, beneath her, that needs to be hated far more, and there is someone above her that needs to be loved. That is so fucking stupid, and that is the propaganda that goes on. Yeah, and privilege and safety nets are more important than talent and hard work. Yes and no. Like I would like privilege. Okay, sorry, I should read your first comment before. Exactly. One is capitalistic only if they own means of production. If not, they are just bootlickers of capitalists. If they are supporting capitalism, yes. Privilege and safety nets are more important than talent and hard work. Yes. See, the construction is a bit off. I would say, like in this scenario, for people in today's India to be rich and be quote unquote successful, yes, privilege and like an inherent familial safety net is more important than talent and hard work. But in life in general, a safety net with talent and hard work gives you a lot more than privilege will ever do. But then you need to have that safety net, which we don't, which has been taken away from us like by like not even by force. We literally just gave it away in India since the beginning because we were pandering to capitalism so much. We just gave it away. And like especially like within the past like few years.
अपने आप को ठोकता है पीटता है कुछ अपने लिए मेहनत करने की कोशिश करता ताकि अपनी फैमिली को अपनी पीढ़ी को आगे अच्छे से मतलब सरवाइव के लिए साथ दे सके क्योंकि एक गरीब
Okay, she thinks a rich person requires to like push forward to support their family and like दर दर की ठोकरें खानी पड़ती है to be rich in India. I am not even making this, like you can't make this shit up, man. Like how like this is just not realizing what the world is at this point, just being fucking stupid. Yes, I am not saying you can succeed without talent. I am just saying that country like India, safety nets and privilege are far more. Yes. In a country like India, safety nets and privilege are far more important to be successful because India is set up in such a way, like, first of all, it is just privilege onto privilege. Like having a safety net from your family is a privilege. So like calling it a safety net, because we call a safety net like universal basic income is also a safety net. So let's just separate that from this, because in India, like having like family money and family to support you is a safety net at the end of the day. And not everyone has it. Anyway, yeah, and then there is this unfortunate video of this fucking ass. Like this guy is an asshole. Like this guy is a straight up ass. I cannot tell you, I was so pissed off when I saw this fucking video, because it's like, how dumb fuck are you? Like, what is this? Like, you are wearing an Adidas tee, you are wearing an Adidas like whole kit while making a video about poor people.
बीजेपी वालों ने दिल्ली में एक हाईवे बनवाया था, दिल्ली से सहारनपुर
it's still fucking it. Not even, it doesn't even have a fucking caption. I'm gonna have to translate it. So I'll just like, we'll go like 10 seconds.
इतनी लो क्वालिटी का माल लगाया है भाई, ये तो हवा से ही टूट गया। ऐसे ही आपको लगता है ना, पर ऐसा कुछ नहीं है भाई। जितनी भी ये सामने आपको लोग दिख रहे हैं ना, कीटाणु, इन्होंने सारा
Okay. Yeah, sure. if you I'm gonna go keep going, mostly because this needs to be a continuous video later. Thank you very much. So it's like this fucking guy is basically saying, oh, this is broken, that is broken, and like we are going to blame the BJP, which we should. Like BJP is to be blamed in this scenario. But he's like, no, it's not the BJP, it's these insects. Like he's calling the people of India insects. You know what it reminds me of? If you ever watched One Piece, it reminds me of like the celestial dragon Saturn. They call every human as insects that is below them. Like you have to have like that level of privilege to be being like, oh, these are insects in front of me that I'm recording for like popularity right now. Like what the actual fuck, dude?
तोड़ दिया। अभी तक तो हाईवे का उद्घाटन तक नहीं हुआ था और इन लोगों ने इस हाईवे का काम बजा दिया। ये देख रहे हो, जानकर तोड़ रहे हैं भाई। अपना ये मल मूत्र यही डालते हैं और नीचे से जो लोग जाते हैं वो सोचते हैं ऊपर से पानी।
That quite literally is bad construction. There is no way people walking on a road can destroy it. There is no way that can happen because these roads are made to sustain car traffic at 100 kilometers per hour. These are made to take like what's the word for it, like car crashes. And you saying, oh fuck, like poor people are breaking shit apart. No, they are fucking not. They are here to relax for a while because every single place kicks them out. You give them a place to survive, you give them a place to be, you give them a place to like feel protected and safe. They're not gonna be fucking here because nobody even wants to be on a Indian highway because you never know, it might fall because it is bad. Like even in his fucking video, like Jesus fucking Christ, look here, like look, this is incomplete work. Nobody is digging up tar to sell to other people. That has never been a concern.
नहीं गिर रहा है, ऐसा नहीं है भाई, ध्यान से जाना। मुझे तो लगता है भाई कुछ दिनों बाद इस हाईवे की सारी लाइटें गायब हो जाएंगी, कैमरे भी गायब हो जाएंगे। इनको बीजेपी से इतनी दिक्कत हो चुकी है भाई, पूरे हाईवे की लंका लगा रहे हैं, देख रहे हो आप।
This guy is a fucking shit, like.
कैसे तोड़ रहे हैं, जान के तोड़े हैं, सबको पता है। नफरत है भाई, नफरत। ये देखो आप, इतनी ऊंची बाउंड्री होने के बाद।
Yeah, he's saying like, oh, they hate the BJP, that's why. No fucking moron. Like these rich people need to fucking stop and get a fucking life and just read something more than just WhatsApp fucking forwards or trying to get famous by shitting on people.
बाद भी खड़ा उधर से, अगर ये गिर गया तो नाम आएगा भाई हाईवे का कि हाईवे ने बलि ले ली भाई यार।
अभी हाईवे से आएगा ना, these are basic safety measures that you have to take on literally any highway. Every fucking single highway is required to have a safety. You can't just have an open highway. This is not like 1400s where you just build like a road by the side of the mountain without a railing. Fuck no, even they had railings. What the fuck do these guys mean? I never know.
यार ये हाईवे हम लोगों के लिए बना है, इसकी क्यों लंका लगा रहे हो?
No, now he's saying like this highway is made for us, not for them. Like who the fuck are you, man? Like this guy barely pays his own fucking taxes. Most of the Indian burden of taxes goes on people like these who work. These guys have built the highway. And this guy is like, nahi, ye mera highway. This is my highway now because I don't know fucking why. And then now you are burning my highway down because apparently I am the only one who's going to use it because I have a car. I have a whatever the fuck. But no. This guy wants to be like, fuck, this is my highway. This is like, every Hindu unite, every middle class fucking person unite and beat up poor people. Like, what the fuck goes on in your brains, these people's brains, man? Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
देख रहे हो आप भाई, कैमरों पे भी पत्थर मारते हैं भाई ये लोग। सरकार कोई भी आ जाए भाई, ये लोग कभी नहीं सुधरेंगे। आपको क्या लगता है इस तरीके से हम चाइना को टक्कर दे देंगे? मुझे तो
Oh, hey, Nofi.
लगता कि चाइना को टक्कर देंगे। देख रहे हो?
See, I'm just annoyed by like all of these fucking like video makers who keep thinking like poor people are insects, and he's basically saying the same thing at this point. Like, how are we gonna fight China if insects like these keep destroying our bridges? Like, fuck no. Like, the only reason these guys are here is because they have been kicked out from every other single place in India. Like, you want to talk about, like, in other countries we talk about like anti-poor constructions, like anti-homeless constructions, etc., etc. In India there is even no chance of having that construction because people actively, like it's an apartheid state, kick people out who look poor, who look like they are like from a weaker section. Like, we have apartheid against Muslims, we have apartheid against poor people, and we have apartheid against lower caste people. At this point, I don't even fucking know. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? I'm just having a crash out at this point over how stupid this guy is. We watched 2 more videos before on people just blaming the poor for being poor. And this comes back to the original point that I was trying to make. Shit like this happens mostly because of one reason, because people are not taught to have empathy. If you are taught to have empathy in your life, if you are taught to have a certain level of what's the word for it, care for other people, you don't go make shit like this. You go and try to help, and you go and try to help in a way that matters. Not like, oh, I'm gonna give you rugs for like one night and just leave. No, you give them money which has been proven to help. You protest against the government. You try to help people through governmental change and hopefully through inculcating socialistic values in your fucking life. Not by like shaming them on the internet and like making sure that India turns into a state where like poor people are demonized, as if it's not already a state where poor people are demonized. Also, hey, Nofi, sorry, what's going on? How's it going? How's it doing? You know, I really miss your old display picture. Like, I really do. That's the cutest shit I've ever seen. And like, it's good to see it again. Like, can I like it from here? No, I cannot. So that's just for the display picture. Anyway, so moving on. We are going to watch a video. This is about class struggle in contemporary India. So this man has not posted anything since the last 4 years at this point. But I really liked his points and I really wanted to push them a bit more forward. I don't know. He hasn't posted anything, so I can't really tell you if you should subscribe or not. But hey, he's good at what he's saying. I wish I had this editing.
Who you are is determined by whom you are with. Your identity is in tandem with your affinity. Once again, welcome back to another episode.
Yeah, so the thing is, he speaks really slowly. So I've just like, okay, this is 1.5 times the speed. Please forgive me. I cannot take how slow he speaks.
Of Vivek Teguchi vlogs. My dear friends, Niti Aayog has come up with Multi-Dimensional Poverty Index 2021. And to no one's surprise, the report has put Kerala on top, being the state having the least number of poor and marginalized. And the percentage goes below 1%.
So like right now, I think if he's still like on the internet alive or whatever, I don't really know. So he's going to be like really happy for like Kerala, because Kerala, like since November 1, has said that it will ensure that no families are left behind, and like it's going to be poverty free. There is trust, there is still like what's the word for it, pushback against it more, because from like tribal people, and we are yet to see what happens with it. We will see from November 1, but I'm just gonna read the news. Mass survey of 3-4 months involving Kudumbashri workers, Asha workers, and local representatives in Kerala civic bodies led to the identification of 64,006 families and 130,009 individuals as extremely poor. After that, local bodies prepared micro plans to support each of those families based on their needs. This is how Kerala has become India's first extreme poverty-free state. This is why you don't go for leaders that are not educated. And this is why you go for leaders that are more towards socialism than capitalism, because capitalism is inherently exploitative. I swear, I'm gonna be just speaking to the print. Launched into 2021, Kerala government's extreme power eradication project is now in its tail end. Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, did I say that right? I'm gonna wait for your reply. Pinarayi Vijayan will declare this state as first extreme poverty-free state in India on November 1st. All ministers of opposition, VD Satisan, the film stars Mohanlal, Mammootty, and Kamal Hassan have been invited to attend. This is good. Like, okay, so they are not afraid of inviting their opposition. So they know they're doing good. When was the last time the BJP has ever like called anyone? Yeah, dude. Like, if you're at this point, if anyone is expecting me proper pronunciations from me, I can't pronounce my wife's to-be wife's surname properly. So I mean, don't expect shit from me, man. I have had I am ADHD with like a little tinge of dyslexia when I was young. I still can't write some of the words that I'm typing without autocorrect. Speaking to the print, a local self-governed department LSGD official involved with the initiative said that they identified the extremely poor based on Niti Aayog's distress indicators for the Multi-Dimensional Poverty Index MPI, including deprivation of food, healthcare, income, and shelter. I was having this conversation with I think Face Realism on Twitter, where we were talking about hey, why doesn't the Congress or even AAP or the BJP ever talk specifics? If you have noticed, they never do. They only say we will do it. We will get this thing done somehow. And take our past performance as a way to get it done. They never give us details. Mamdani in New York always gives details on how something is going to do. The only other politicians that I have saw are Keralis. Kerali politicians give you details because they're not afraid of details, because details are fucking important. That's how you know you have a plan, right? That's how you know you can go forward with something. If you're at your workplace and you are I have this, we have to do this. You are the one responsible for doing a project. And if you do not have a plan, or if in your life, in your company or whatever, wherever you're working, you do not have a plan, you don't provide a plan. You just keep saying, we'll do it somehow. Just give us the money or give us whatever, the support. No one is going to give you either. So why do we expect that from our government? Why would you go out and vote for someone who doesn't tell you the plan, who just keeps saying, oh, we will do this somehow? I don't understand it. Do you? According to the 2023 Niti Aayog Multidimensional Poverty Index (MPI), Kerala has the lowest proportion of multidimensional poor in India. Only 55.55% of Kerala population was found multidimensionally poor. Multidimensional poverty just doesn't mean like you don't have money, you don't have food, you don't have shelter, you don't have like the basic necessities of having a life, having like a life that is the base minimums for life in today's world. Followed by 0.8% in Goa and 0.85% in Pondicherry. The Niti Aayog MPI measured poverty across 12 indicators under 3 dimensions of health, education, and standard of living. Families facing one or more of these distresses were the beneficiaries of the Kerala government's Extreme Poverty Eradication Project. I don't know why they added this project. This is just grammatically wrong. I'm sorry. Can we contact the editor? With local bodies rolling out need-based intervention to help them. Instead of implementing Instead of implementing such interventions at the state level, the chief minister suggested that we directly address the need of beneficiaries. Some people needed assistive services, others needed medication, times palliative care, or even organ transplants. For others, we provided livelihood. Like, Jesus Christ, this is so fucking amazing. This is like I am officially a fan. This is what I want for India. This is what I want for literally every person on this world. Like, state level shit never fucking works, because state level, when you hey, Swaraj speaks. I'm cool. Cool, all fine. We are just talking about like Kerala initiatives. Later you can go back to the ward if you want to see what's happening. So, like, I'm talking like state level initiatives never really work, because state level you have to assume that a certain population has the same problems overall. But like, this is fucking amazing, because what they are doing is they are going to individuals and catering to them. No wonder they are like looking into eradicating entirety of the like extreme poverty within the state. Like, yes, it is true. Like, you can't eradicate all poverty given the current socio-political system, but at least you can eradicate poverty in this level. Initiative was among the first decisions taken by the maiden cabinet meeting by the second Pinarayi Vijayan government in Kerala. I am so sorry, Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan. भाई कम्युनिज्म की अहमियत आज पता चल रही है. नो रिलीजियस ड्रामा, जस्ट पुअर हेल्प. अंधभक्त से इस बात से जलते हैं. या नो see the thing is, when you go towards the right, when you go towards like right-wing politics and conservative politics, their entire thesis has to be around religion, because they cannot promise the poor that they are going to be a welfare state. They cannot promise the poor food. They cannot promise them money. They cannot promise them opportunities. It is not possible, because the whole idea of capitalism itself is exploitation, and you have to exploit the poor. So in that scenario, what happens is, when you're a pro-capitalistic force, you have to promise something, because like you have to gather people. So you promise them religion. You promise them, hey, we are going to make you supreme. We are going to remove all Muslims from this country. We are going to remove immigrants. We are going to remove LGBTQ. That's why you have to vote for us. And then because of removing all of that, your life is going to get better. Because of which, all you can expect from right-wing governments is a religion-focused movement. You cannot have a poor-focused movement. That's why right-wing is bad. And that's why capitalism is bad, because like, what can capitalism give you? Like, you are not rich. You are not in the bourgeois. You are not a landowner. What is capitalism going to give you? Ask yourself that. That is the question you need to ask. Like, कौन देने वाला है capitalism में तुम्हारा, कौन देख रहा है तुम्हारा फायदा? Literally no one. all of the rich people get subsidies. All of the rich people get their shit going. They get like special treatment. They get like a free pass in like the judiciary. They can just pay off like judges and shit. So what do you get? You get shit on. And even then I have people like going like talking to me about like, oh, we still need capitalism because capitalism works. It doesn't work. We know like what happened with Malay in Argentina. He's getting a bailout so they can show that capitalism is working. But if capitalism is working, then the Malay shouldn't need a bailout in Argentina. Now, should he? No, because it doesn't fucking work. Anyway, please, if you can share this stream. I would really like to have more people in this conversation. This conversation is fucking important. Hold on, online. Yeah. See, at this point, because we have like 4 people and then I'm going to just cut this out later, I'm just like, oh, hey, babe, you can just come on the stream and we can just talk on the stream. No, I know. Thanks, Bliss. I'm just like repeating it again and again just so I have like this like habit of saying, oh, like, share and subscribe, because I have to be conscious of that. Like, for example, this stream has what? Where are the stats? Like, I don't know how many likes does this stream have. I don't know whatever. So it's like, it's a good idea if you can like it. Like, see, we don't have any likes. We need likes here. We have 2 people at least, 3 people at least. Go like. This is important. Also, like, Sarin is sleeping in the background. So, yeah. Anyway, so moving on. Please like this stream, share this stream if you can, and obviously subscribe. Thank you. I have, and I know all of both of you or every one of you already has. I just making sure I can say it. I can get to learn. See, announcing the 1st November event Wednesday, state local self-government government department. Who the fuck names these things? Minister MB Rajesh said that Kerala was going to be the first Indian state to conduct such an exercise. Yes, because it's amazing. Even in the world, only China has done it. Yes, fucking, I know. Socialism, capitalism works. Capitalism doesn't. So socialism, communism works. Capitalism doesn't. So Kerala becomes the first place to conduct such an exercise after China, he said, adding to the implementation of required coordination across all government departments overseen by the chief minister at all steps. At every stage, we received the progress under the chief minister's leadership. It was through this coordinated effort that we achieved this milestone, Minister Rajesh said. According to the state government, it allocated 80 crore and 50 crore for the program in the first year of 2023 to 2024 and the fiscal year of 24 to 25 respectively. This never happens in a capitalistic state. In a capitalistic state, they say it was allocated or it was promised, it never goes through. You have to understand this, the difference between a communist socialist run government versus a capitalistic run government. Capitalism is always profit first. It is not people first. The print reached out to Kerala leader of opposition VD Sathesan regarding his attendance at the 1st November event at the United Democratic Front stand of the event. However, Sathesan said that the UDF is currently discussing the matter. Fine. See, this is what I was talking about earlier. Methodology is never spoken to by any other party. No other party speaks about the methods they use. They only say we will do it because we're going to have tax or we are going to have whatever. This is very important. You have to understand this. If you have a government official, whoever it is, asking you for votes, ask him how he's going to achieve what he's doing. You cannot go up and vote for someone just because they are saying vote for me because I will do this. You have to ask, how are you going to do this? If you do not know how, you should not vote for them, because they can just as easily be lying to you. Like, even I can claim I'm gonna make like gold out of like cow piss. I can say that, and that can mean 1,000 different things. Gold out of cow piss is an actual thing, but not like actual gold. It was urea that they wanted. It was like called as the gold from cow piss that was used in Europe, because when it was found out that cow piss is urea, and it increased farming, like industrialized farming to a whole different level, because urea is required for growing crops. That's what it was originally supposed to be. I mean, originally in alchemy, it was supposed to be gold from piss, but then it came out like, oh shit, it's urea, we can use it for farming. But you get my point. Always ask people what they fucking mean. Always ask people that what they are going to do. And how are they going to do is the most important point. If someone just keeps selling you, and I'm going to hammer this point in you, if someone is just talking without telling you what they are, how they are going to do it, they are just waffling. Waffling, it's a word. Get used to it. So they surveyed 64,006 families as extremely poor, but 4,421 single family members died, while family living as nomads, nearly 261 of them could not be found, and at least 47 had entered their details twice, leading to rejections. Then the state government lifted the remaining 59,277 families out of extreme poverty. This is called data, referential data. This is good. Beneficiaries of the initiative include Keralites only. From 2021, the state has lifted 30,658 families out of extreme poverty during the first phase of the project, which continued till November 2023. Dharmadan constituency, represented by the Chief Minister P. Vijayan, sorry, I can't spell him again, was declared the first constituency free of extreme poverty in April of 2025. Minister Rajesh said that the government achieved the success through their interdepartmental coordination, yada yada yada. For instance, Kudumbashri implemented the Ujjivanam scheme to provide employment opportunities. The transport department ensured free rides for students or beneficiary families, and the revenue departments identified land for the landless. That's good. I would also ask how you did it here. Maybe there is information on that, how that happened. I'm not sure. Take this with a cup of tea. Take this with a pinch of salt. One of the biggest one of the biggest challenges was ensuring housing for identified families. Beneficiary families included under the Life Mission scheme remain lodged in rented homes arranged by local bodies until the houses are ready. That's good. आप comment below na. What? Remaining, refer to the comment. Okay, I will. Just let us get through this, because like I have been waffling myself for a while, like random shit and tangents. Minister Rajesh further said the government constructed 3,913 houses, identified land for 1,338 families, provided 2 lakh each for house repairs, 5,651 families, and issued essential documents such as ration cards to 21,263 individuals. Yes, that is how you do it. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, like Andhabaks are fucking stupid. They don't have water in their taps, and then they cry about how everyone in Kerala is getting everything that they ever deserved. Okay, Pratik. So we are talking about like the poor people of India. We start like this is the print for from Kerala. So we started with like talking about how like Indians look at the poor. Then we are going to still watch this video, so you're not that late. And then we like had a tangent on the like what Kerala is doing right now, but we are going back to that video. So don't worry about it. While you're at it, please do share this video if you can. And please like, share, subscribe. I say this because I really want to like get into my brain as a routine to keep saying anytime someone new joins. So please, it would be very much helpful. And yes, everyone agrees bucks are fucking stupid because they do not have enough protein in their diets. You know, can one of you, someone find me the link to the video of like Ted Mosby says like because you need protein, because I can't do it while I'm doing this. Like someone please take up this and be like, hey, this is the thanks, man. Yeah, Kerala has free education for the poor at least till 12th standard, no high fees, good primary healthcare, good HDI, good transport, or kya chahiye? What is good? Also, yeah, no, that is the whole point, right? When you're a socialistic state, that is what you ensure for your people. You don't do that with capitalism. We said this before, I'm going to say this again. Capitalism focuses on this point that like people need to be exploited. Socialism focuses that people need to be uplifted. You are people. You don't want to be exploited. You are never going to be part of the bourgeois. You're never going to be that rich. So why do you want to support capitalism in the first place? केरला में बड़े हॉस्पिटल्स की ज़रूरत है, हायर एजुकेशन कॉलेज भी कम है. दैट इज़ ट्रू. आई एम गोइंग टू आस्क यू टू टेक्स्ट इन इंग्लिश बिकॉज see the thing is I would like to keep this stream a bit more pan India. Like I don't want just people from like people who can speak Hindi and Marathi coming in. So I would like this stream to be in English because English is more or less spoken everywhere. So if you can, like I will translate for you. Don't worry about it. Like it's not difficult. Like Kerala requires more hospitals. Yes. And educational institutes. Yes, sure. It does. But you have to also think about it this way. Okay, you need bigger hospitals, but are the current hospital setup working or not? If it is, you don't need like this, like a massive hospital setup as long as people are taken care of. The point is you have to be able to take care of your people. If you're not able to take care of your people, everything is pointless. Higher education colleges become here. See, again, ask yourself, do they need it? For a population of say like 5 million people, if you need 5 colleges but you build 10, the extra 5 colleges is just a waste you can use for giving people like a universal base income. That's what I'm saying. As long as you have like, I do not hate Christians, but I think Christians from Kerala are capitalists. They charge more fees for education, but communist government broke this. Many Christian schools has fees. You don't have to hate Christians. You can hate capitalists. It doesn't matter. Like the religion doesn't matter. You have to know that religion, like thinking of it of the religious sense, is gonna get you down the capitalistic route again. Hindus are capitalistic. Brahmins are capitalistic. Even Buddhists are capitalistic to a certain extent if like given the like government at the time on where you're talking about. Even Muslims are capitalistic within Saudis and whatever. The point is that you cannot have the point is that you cannot think about it in a religious sense because people are capitalistic by what they perceive to be helpful to them or for their benefit. Religion is immaterial in this conversation. Okay, Bliss, I'm gonna check DM. If you have sent me a link, yeah, see, please post links here. Also, hopefully not a Reddit link, please. Like a YouTube one will work. Please. Because I cannot go on Reddit while I'm here like this. Because Reddit people say like shitty stuff underneath comments and shit. So I'm gonna have to avoid it so this doesn't get taken down. So I would really ask you to like paste the link here if you can. Because I think it's allowed to do it. No. Fuck. Yeah. Anyway, so. Aye. Fine. I don't know how. Okay. Yeah, this is done anyway, so I can just read comments now. In tier 1 cities, school fees are 4 lakh for first standard kids. Health is costly. Our nation is fucked up. Tier 2, 3 cities have nothing, and tier 1 become hell. Poor and middle class fucked up. Dude, half the time I don't understand what you're saying. Yes, school fees are going up. We are going to talk about this. For the first standard kids, health is costly. Our nation is fucked up. Yes, that is true. Like you need at least 3-4 lakhs to have a child. That shouldn't be the case. Childcare should be free. Becomes hell, poor and middle class. Yes, yeah, like yes, that happens because of capitalism. Also, how do I fix the? Hold on. Someone remind me to comments on moderation. See, I don't know how you're posting the link, but here I have like, you can post a link. What link are you posting exactly? Fine, I can just go on X and check. Bharat Bhai on the side is like reposting but not coming here, and I'm just. Okay. No. I need a video. Anyway, the point is like, yeah, still. I hope you find this like really friendly of a conversation. By the way, bro, Saddam Hussein was a socialist. Under his regime, Iraq was developed schools, hospital roads. He broke a radical organization. He liberated Iraqi society. We will talk about this in much more detail someday else. Like, trust. I have so much to pick up. Anyway, so tribal groups call rubbish on governs extreme poverty-free claim. See, this is still there. What I would say is we need to hold off until the 1st. It is not too far away. It is 3 days away. Bharat bhai aa gaye. Sahi hai. So this is, I'm going to speak in English because we would like to really keep it like for all audience north and south. So we're going to speak in English. Bharat bhai, please do like, share and subscribe if you can. I at this like for everyone else, I am like, oh, I'm not begging anyone. I am begging because you're like the nicest person here. I'm sorry. Rakshit and Bliss. I'm sorry. You are trash people now. Bharat Bhai is here. I'm so sorry. So as we saw before, like Kerala is going through this whole thing with like, we are going to make it extreme poverty free, but the travel people don't think so. Yeah, I'm not going to read this right now. Thank you so much, Bharat Bhai. The reason why it is because I would really like to wait for 1st of November and see how it happens then, because it's 3 days away. Activists are estimating 90% of David families in Kerala still have no land, with many living on plastic-covered huts without electricity, toilet, drinking water. They point out that despite crores of being spent under the government's extreme poverty eradication program, thousands of tribal children have dropped out of school and many continue to survive on one meal a day. At the Manikuni tribal settlement near Sultan Bedari, around 60 families live in miserable conditions. K. Amini, leader of the Adivasi Vaintha Prashasan, said this. Poverty remains a daily reality for tribal people. Community toilets overflow, the stench is unbearable, and people wait until night to relieve themselves, said Amini. The minister should visit these places before making grand announcement, he said. For whom it is the poverty-free declaration meant? Asked Amini. That is true. One of the major things with governments, especially top-down, is not everyone is reached. That is a problem and that needs to be addressed. And I really do hope the Kerala government addresses this, because I just went on a tirade of how great they are. But I cannot always, I cannot keep that opinion of them if this is going to be a problem, because tribals are still citizens of India, whether or not they vote for you. That's why I say, vote for the candidate who does for everyone, not just for their vote bank. One genuine question, migration of Kerala youth is a big issue like Andhra Pradesh. They migrated towards Bangalore, Middle East, Mumbai. What about this? See, it is not a big issue because they are Indians. It's not migration. They are just traveling within India, first of all. They are citizens of India and they have the right to do it. You cannot kick them out. Again, citizens of India. Again, have you ever met a Kerala person? They are always the nicest people you can find. They are more respectful than your own peers and they will never let you down. The only downside I can think of is they do not speak Hindi, Marathi or whatever the languages, and they'll converse in English. And even then, if you are in a place like Maharashtra, they will try and speak Marathi to you. This is not a problem. They are not taking your jobs away. They are not replacing you. Keralis mostly move out to the Saudi, to Europe, to America because they are much more well educated. Most of you, what you're thinking is oh, the Kerala got a job, mostly because of their own government's educational policies, they can get the job because they are far more educated and far more capable of that job. So if you want to counter that, ask your government to be like, hey, Bharat Bhai, you can just text me. You can say that in chat. It's not a problem. These are all friends. So in this scenario, what happens is, so you have to have a bit of empathy. You have to have this idea in your brains that you have to ask your government to make things better for you. Keralis ask their government to make things better for them. Why cannot you? Why do you have to suffer in dilapidated colleges where the walls are falling off, where the roofs are leaking, where the teachers are not teaching? They can barely speak English and they can barely speak their own mother tongue and barely teach you anything. Why do you have to suffer that? Why can't you have it like Kerala where everything is free for you? The reason is you don't ask for it. The point is that if you are of this mindset that the current government is doing good, is doing fine, then you are wrong there. Because you have gotten this idea that you have to be okay with whatever you have and things cannot get better. They can always get better. They will always get better. But it will only get better if you talk about it, if you organize, if you protest, if you speak up. That is the one true thing you can do, is speak up. If you cannot speak up, you cannot get better. You cannot get better services. You cannot get better education or a better life. Speak up. So, yeah, just make sure you speak up, my friends. Just make sure you speak up. Because Keralis do, and look what happens in Kerala. Keralis have literally everything because they are speak up. Bro, in Andhra Pradesh, hold on. Bro, in Andhra Pradesh, CBN TDP is fully, like, dude, use full forms. I'm not going to understand short forms. It's fully capitalist, but Andhra is suffering many issues. Andhra is suffering from health literacy less. They lack civic education, just films. That is what I'm saying. They are fully capitalist. That's the problem. They need to be more communist and more socialist. They need to have social structures around them. The idea of migration should always be attracting the finest talent, no matter the region. How the democracy adds the value to society, circa the Silicon Valley. Yeah, so yes, they should always attract better, but that is still a more capitalistic view of looking at education. You should always have this idea that you are also capable of producing that level of education. Like, migration is always good. Migration is always amazing. I mean, no fee. I have been mentioning communism every like 5 seconds. What are you saying? Anyway, in 2026 Kerala elections, I will openly campaign for... What the fuck are you talking about? Please explain yourself. Swaraj, if you are not going to use full forms, I am going to ban you. I am sorry. You cannot say you are going to campaign for IDF in 2026 and not be banned. So please explain that. I am genuinely concerned right now. And I know there is a party in India by the name IDF. I am just going to be very clear. Use full forms. I'm not going to read short forms. That is a rule that I have for myself, especially when live streaming. बहुत चूतियापा होता है यहाँ पे. I am not going to be getting into short forming. I'm very well going to wait for you. Swaraj, you still here? Jesus. Left Democratic Front. Thank you. That looks either at least use capital, because that looks like a capital is I. Chandra Babu Naidu has a full ecosystem in film and media. They have big connections with companies, but Andhra becomes hell under his regime. That is true. They are fucking capitalists. I will campaign for the Communist Party. Please do. Yeah, like Swaraj, I swear to you, you write like SSS and I keep thinking of SS. Be very careful when you're writing like in a political space. You have to know, man. It gets very easy for people to misunderstand. Anyway, so there are about 35 different tribal communities in Kerala, which again, I am going to stress, I cannot stress this enough, need to be taken care of. Except the Kuruchia community, all of the others are living in extreme poverty. Like seriously, 34 different tribal communities are extreme poverty. What the fuck are we doing, Kerala? If we examine the socio-economic conditions of the Paniya, Aditya, Urali, Batta, Kuruma and Kutunayakan communities in Wayanad and Hill, Pulaya and Madhuvan communities in Idukki, most of them struggle to afford even one proper meal a day. That is bad. Educated tribal youth remain unemployed and the so-called reform brings no real benefits. We all know that not even 10% of the funds allocated to reach the people, the government may celebrate on November 1, but for the Kerala's tribal people, poverty remains a daily reality. This is going to be a problem for the Communist Party of Kerala. They really need to be able to explain this on the first. I don't know how. Maybe they should push this and try take care of these families. But this is what I'm saying. Like, this is like good news reporting. You'd never find this in the North. I really like this for the fact that they are bringing up the issue. They are showing that there is an issue. They are pushing forward like, hey, this is the issue. We have to solve it somehow. Anyway, going back to this, I would really recommend this video. I like the channel hasn't, again, I'll say this again, the channel hasn't posted since like the 5th of December 2021. It's been nearly 4 years, 4 years now. Capitalism no, Swaraj, it doesn't even develop one city. It develops a group of people and everyone else is poor. The show off of capitalism is to make sure that the people of the city don't revolt back. Like, if you're seeing like good roads but you don't have a car, you're still seeing good roads. So people are like subdued. So, like I always say, and I will always say, capitalism is basically feudalism with better PR. They got better with their public relations, and that is what they call capitalism now. Anyway.
Now, this is not the first time where the government of Kerala has shown commitments to its people and showing people-centric administrative examples. In the last 1 year, multiple reports have came by which shows the people-centric approach of Kerala's governance. Let me go through a few. In Niti Aayog's...
Don't worry, Kerala people are smart and they're educated, so don't worry about it.
Urban Sustainable Development Goals Index, Trivandrum and Cochin occupied 4th and 5th positions, being the cities with best sustainable solutions. Again, in the annual status of education report published again by the Niti Aayog, Kerala has become the state which provided best education solutions during the pandemic. Our program First Bell has been globally acclaimed. Then, in Public Affairs Index, of course, in 2021, again to no one's surprise, Kerala occupied the top position for the 4th consecutive year, being the best governed state in India. Last but not least, in Sustainable Development Goals Index, which predicts the likability of a state to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, Kerala has been declared the state which is most likely to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. Now, this is Kerala on one side, and on the other side you have those states which are governed by the right-wing, bourgeois, reactionary political parties. The performance of these states which are governed by those political parties such as the BJP, Congress, etc. are abysmal. Would you believe if I say 52% of the population of Bihar are poor? 40% of the population in Uttar Pradesh are no different. And the indices showing health, education, social empowerment, gender empowerment, etc. do not go well with these states. Now, some of you may say this is because the states are very huge in population and they don't have enough revenue options. I'm really sorry, I don't buy that argument. Because these states are home for huge corporate houses which earn in millions. It is because the government is reluctant to go for an apt taxation policy with the corporates that they don't get enough revenue. And with the revenue they've earned, they are helping corporates again with tax incentives. And whom they are leaving aside, whom they are leaving to the fate, the common man, the working class, the downtrodden. And I'm not saying this just for the sake of an argument. When you see the amount of money the central government get through the petroleum prices, it's around 12 to 13 lakh crores, 12 to 13 lakh crores. And what do they do with this money? You will know what do
Kerala and other many states should actively track and push back against the RSS infiltration and the so-called cultural movement, and it will be the breeding ground for yes, that they should be doing it. They should honestly ban the RSS altogether, like Karnataka. RSS is the terrorist organization. I can say this out loud. I'm gonna say this as long as possible. So, and it is going to ruin every single state that it is operating in, because their own entire model is based around the idea of exploitation. So it really, you cannot work with the RSS. You have to always work against. And this man is right. Bihar, like even today, like the Bihar elections are going to come up. And even today, as this goes, Bihar is still focusing on like this capitalistic idea of pushing like worker rights down and exploiting them a bit more in lieu of getting more money out of companies and factories, which is never going to work. Bihar is not a state that can go without communism. It is not a state that that can go without socialism. It needs socialistic support structures to work. Sorry, excuse me.
What do they do with this money? When you see the amount of money which the central government through banks written off, it comes around 8.5 lakh crores, and the money is taken not by the poor man. The loan is taken by huge corporate houses.
Yeah, Swaraj, kya bak raha hai bhai? I don't know what you're going on about. I am. What happened? What did you do wrong? It's chat. It is yours. It is yours to text. I'm not going to control the chat other than like bad words or like harassing someone or like sending death threats or something. It's not my job. You can self-govern yourself, no worries. You don't have to you don't have to like say like sorry to me. I am no one. Just a cog in the machine.
Who you are is identified by whom you are with. The central government is bourgeois, reactionary, right-wing, because it stands with the large corporate houses.
Yes, they do, because we know like the government is only working for Adani and Ambani. They are not working for you, the common man. So you have to like get this idea out of your head that, they are going to work for me, they are going to work for us. The only thing they are going to give you is a sense of religious superiority, nothing else.
The money they get from the people, the money they reap from the people, are being shamelessly transferred to the large corporate houses, the huge capitalists, whether national or multinational, whom there is a sustainable development option for them. They don't need external support.
And I don't know why this guy speaks very slowly, because the speed is at 1.5 and I still feel he's very slow.
To develop. Whereas this poor, working class, proletarian needs support of the government. What is the way forward? The way forward is,
yes, I agree.
People's
Swaraj,
democratic
capitalism is
revolution.
bad for the environment.
What is
Always
people's
has
democratic
been.
revolution? It is the democratic revolution which is led by empowered people. Now, how do we empower them? We empower them by giving them independence, giving them options to explore, giving them the dignity of their life, giving them opportunities to develop. I could say one example of doing that. Government of Kerala provides pensions to old age people. Why? Now, some right-wing reactionaries may say it is part of freebie politics where they give money for votes. I would strongly disagree, because there is economics in it. When you provide money for the people, their choices expand. They can buy different things, which hitherto not possible.
That is not just the only thing. The issue and the whole idea behind giving money is that if you are giving goods, like a lot of capitalists want to give, we are going to give them like shoes, or we are going to give them like whatever. they all don't always need those things. Some people require the fees of their children to be paid, some people require food, some people require clothes, some people require like medical assistance. So what happens is, if you give them just one thing, they are never going to come out of poverty. They're never going to feel fulfilled, mostly because when you give just one thing, that's all they have. But if you give them the opportunity to use the money the way they want, they are going to end up with you're going to end up with a populace that is more self-sustaining. And we are going to go through a video again over here, not this one, this one, the best way to lift poverty. It is from TED, and it is quite literally shows you how this works.
When they buy different things, the demand of those things increases, leading to higher production. When they need to produce more, they need more people to employ. When more people get employed, they get money in the form of wages and salaries. And when they get money in the form of wages and salary, again, the demand for different goods rises. And the cycle continues to prosperity. This is very basic common economics, which is not unknown to any bourgeois reactionary ideologists. But they don't gain anything from that. They gain only from this corporate economics, because the corporates helps these bourgeois political parties to come back to power. Congress and BJP have no difference in it.
That is actually more or less true,
They
even
do not
because
want
Congress
to come to
works with
power
Adani.
with the help of the people just because they help people. They want to come to power with the help of few corporates by simply helping them out. That's when I say who you are is determined by whom you are with. Now what's the way forward? I said empower the people. Empower the people so that they can lead this people's democratic revolution, which would transform our society.
Capitalism doesn't care about human values. Labor laws tell us just 8 hours. What? Where people work 12 hours. Am I eyewitness? Labor laws are a joke. Yes. You know why people work only 8 hours? Because of unionization and capital and communism. Because people unionize and fought for it. Because people unionize and fought for it, we have like factories before used to be 12-hour shindigs. 12 hours and 24 hours working every single day. There was no holiday. There was no Lord's Day to take a break. There was no like Saturday, Sunday off. It was always like work every single day in the factory and then come back home. So like it was the unionists and the communists and the socialists who fought for these rights. It was not the capitalists. Capitalists always wanted to exploit more and more and more.
Society into a socialist one, whereby every person gets everyone's needs, not anyone's greeds. Remember, you cannot gain anything, you cannot get anything without uniting. Identify your class, not your religion, not your region, not anything else. Identify your class by saying that I am a student.
Maharashtra government tries to raise working. Yes, they do, because they don't care about you. I'm sorry to say. Like because it's a capitalist system, they like you need to start voting for communists and socialists more. Like because see, unions are antithetical to a company, to any shareholder. So whenever people try to unionize and ask for better healthcare, better working hours, better time offs, like holidays, paid holidays or health leaves with pay, stuff like that, a lot of these companies will try to bust those unions because they understand this one thing: if they let even a single person rise, like there are going to be other people who are going to rise up with them and ask for better conditions for working. So the only way to combat this is make sure you are in a union. No matter what work you're doing, you need to be in a union. No matter what is happening, need to organize people. You need to organize yourself. You need to go forward with this idea that, hey, we can be better together, because we need to work in a safe environment, and we need to work in like a well paid environment, at least paid to the point of that you can sustain yourself. That's why you need those unions. During COVID crisis, every state government pushed the bill for 12-hour day in a regime where timely wage payments and working hours aren't even regulated. Yes, exactly. This happens because we don't unionize. Have you ever seen a union of people working in a white collar job? Have you ever seen a union of people working even in a blue collar job? We need unions. You need to unionize. You need to go to people and be like, hey, we should do this together. We are going to form a union. We are going to fight for our rights. We are going to protest against the company, against the government. Yes, exactly. That is what happens in capitalism, right? That is like end goal of capitalism, union busting. So you're gonna have to unionize anyway. Fuck, it is illegal. Fuck all of that. The reason why I'm saying that is because it is illegal to ban a union. What are you gonna do? Ban people from meeting each other? This is not a dictatorship yet. Call the people around you who are working with you and say you're forming a union. You're gathering people together. You are going to fight for your rights, for a higher pay. And especially this one thing is extremely important. Ask them how much they are paid, because it has been shown more and more consistently that when your salaries are out in the public, everyone gets a fairer wage. When they are hidden, some people will always get a lower wage based on gender, caste, whatever it may be. By the way, bro, Bharatiya Janata supporters don't care about poverty. They said hard work, don't be envy. Yeah, no. See, they care about poverty because they need poverty to win votes. They need this idea that, hey, we are, you can be like us, you can be rich if you just work hard and support us. They need this idea. They need this whole thing where you need to be forced into this. If you are shown the dream that you can be better, you can earn more if you work harder, this unattainable dream, you're more likely to vote right wing. That's why they need it.
I belong to youth. I'm a farmer. Not by saying that I'm Hindu, I'm Muslim, I'm Christian, I'm Keralite, I'm Punjabi, etc. Identify your class and fight with class unity. A wonderful example, a historic example of the strength of class unity is been shown in the form of farmers' protest. Now, farmers protest not true. On their identity of Punjabi or Keralite or UP or from Gujarat, etc. They fought true. On their identity of a particular class, that is farmer class. Identify your class and be united in that class. And fight for your freedom, fight for your values, fight for your rights. Always develop this class unity so that whatever government that comes, even the right-wing, bourgeois, reactionary government will be forced to accept your demands. They'll be forced.
See, that is what I keep saying, right? No matter what happens, if you're not fighting for yours, you can make the right-wing government bend to your needs. But you have to be willing to do it. You have to be willing to fight for your rights. It doesn't matter if the BJP is in power or the Congress is in power or anyone is in power. What matters is that you need to be willing to fight for what is yours. And what is yours is your right to survive, your right to unionize, your right to have a good salary.
Forced to accept your dignity. They'll be forced to accept your existence in this planet.
That is true.
Thank you very much for watching. See you again in another episode. Signing off.
Bro never released another episode for the past 4 years. I don't know what happened to him. I am hoping he's not dead. Like, seriously, bro needs to release another episode. Also, yeah, how am I supposed to do this? Just give me 1 second because I need to share all. Okay. Because I'm calling people that I know from Instagram if they want to come. Oh, yeah. Push this on Instagram as well if you have them. Not yet. I want to do it, but I will do it. If you can push this on Instagram as well, not just like what's the word for it? Not just Twitter, please. Where is Kunal? Sorry, this is like dead space right now, but I just need because we are going to talk about like Riya Chakraborty as well. We are going to go through why is it hard to escape poverty, because it is also something important. Because again, we are kept poor. Always remember that. You are not poor because you don't work hard enough. You are kept poor.
Imagine that you've been unemployed and seeking work for months. Government benefit programs have helped you cover rent, utilities, and food, but you're barely getting by. Finally, you hear back about a job application. You receive your first paycheck in months, and things seem to be turning around, but there's a catch. Your new job pays just enough to disqualify you from the benefit programs and not enough to cover the same costs. To make things worse, you have to pay for transportation to work and childcare while you're at the office. Somehow, you have less money now than when you were unemployed. Economists call this demoralizing situation the welfare trap.
So the thing is, this I don't know when this was 3 years ago. The welfare trap really doesn't exist. I mean, it is I think a misnomer in this scenario where they're calling it a welfare trap, but it is more like an inability to provide for the people what they actually need. People like end up thinking, oh, it is a welfare trap. So it is like, okay, welfare is bad. That is not true. Welfare is important. This is just mismanagement of welfare that they're terming as a welfare trap. Never believe a capitalist economist when they're talking about how welfare is a bad thing for people. It never is.
Trap, one of the many different poverty traps affecting millions of people around the world. Poverty traps are economic and environmental circumstances that reinforce themselves, perpetuating poverty for generations. Some poverty traps are tied to an individual's circumstances, like a lack of access to healthy food or education. Others can affect entire nations, such as cycles of corrupt government or climate change. But the cruel irony of welfare traps in particular is that they stem from the very policies designed to battle poverty. Most societies throughout history employed some strategies to help people in poverty meet basic needs. Before the 20th century,
a collective pushback led to the rollback of farmers' law, but that just came before state elections, while in the process 700 farmers lost their lives struggling at the Delhi border. I would say just one thing. Do you think that their martyrdom or their sacrifice was in vain? Because these 700 farmers saved the lives of innumerable farmers to ever come and people. And I'm not saying from save their lives from being like exploited for money, literally saving their lives. You would be surprised the domino effect bad laws can have into the death of 100 or 1,000 more people. Or like tens and thousands. And it's not just because there was a state election. Don't forget. State elections are literally every year. Every single year. India is always in an election cycle. So their pushback was successful, and that is what we want more of. The more we have protests, the better it's going to be for us collectively. Their sacrifice was stupid. Can you please explain how they saved their lives? They didn't save their lives. They saved the lives of their loved ones. They saved the lives of people who are going to come in front ahead of them. They saved the lives of the countless number of people who depend on farming supplies and food to survive. Because farm law, that was the MSRP or whatever that was going to come in, that was going to make it extremely difficult for, I am coming to it, there was going to make it extremely difficult for people like you and me to buy and regulate our food supplies. Like Reliance was allowed to hoard grain under that law, which means it can hoard grain during times of plenty and then create an artificial drought and then sell it at a higher price. Not everyone is ever going to be able to buy it at that price, which means at the end of the day, a lot of people are going to go hungry. A lot of people are going to not be able to buy food or as much as they need, which is going to increase the disease load within people, which is going to increase malnutrition, which increases poverty, which increases the amount of death that a country will experience. The martyrdom of these 700 people saved 1.4 billion people. And I'm sorry, you might not be informed enough if you think their sacrifice was stupid. Their sacrifice saved a lot more people than you can ever imagine. Because the whole thing, the whole new laws were built up on this idea that you can exploit the farmers, you can exploit the people on food, grain, on food, grain. So the only Punjab, Haryana farmers went for it, and other state, India is distributing food for free to 80 crore. So do you want me to become 1.4 billion people to distributing food grain? Like the law was only for Punjab, Haryana farmers. Where do you think your wheat comes from when you're in the center, Madhya Pradesh or South? It doesn't come from your state. It comes from them. Where, like, are you really sure that the law was always going to stick for only Punjab and Haryana farmers? Are you that stupid? Come on, man. Come on, seriously. Like, this government is selling off every single PSU to Adani Ambani. This government is selling off every single necessity of the common man to Adani Ambani. This was an attempt to sell off like farming goods and farm storages to Adani and Ambani. That is what they stopped. They should be proud of themselves. They saved Indians more than the Indian army has at this point, I would say. The farm protesters were the best of us. And we should aspire to be like them. Anyway, moving on.
Religious groups and private charities often led such initiatives. Today, these are called welfare programs, and they usually take the form of government-provided subsidies for housing, food, energy, and healthcare. Typically, these programs are means-tested, meaning that only people who fall below a certain income level are eligible for benefits.
That is always bad.
This policy is designed to ensure aid goes to those who need it most. But it also means people lose access as soon as they earn more than the qualification threshold.
See, the problem here is, and they'll explain it themselves, is that when you have a cap, you don't always have the necessary... the law is... Jesus, I'm getting... I'll read the chat later. I'm getting too addicted to reading the chat. So... when you have these welfare schemes developed by capitalistic governments like this, they'll always have a mean cap and they are bound to fail, mostly because it doesn't concern all of them. When we were talking about Kerala before, the whole idea of Kerala was we are going to do it for the people at the lowest levels possible. That means if any welfare scheme is not set up that way, it is going to be a failure at the end of the day because it doesn't consider people. It only considers your baseline, which is it's like running like a company, which is not good for a government because governments are not companies. They should not be run this way.
regardless of whether or not they're financially stable enough to stay there.
Laws were cleverly passed in parliament during peak COVID lockdown without consulting the opposition, while the media kept us busy with Sushant Singh Rajput and Riya Chakraborty. Yes, that is true. That is another thing. The other thing was, like, to be honest with you, Pratik, I would say even the opposition would agree to them. The only reason the opposition did not agree to it is because of the farmers, because the farmers protested.
This vicious cycle is harmful to both those in poverty and those outside of it. Mainstream economic models assume people are rational actors who weigh the cost and benefits of their options and choose the most advantageous path forward. If those in poverty know they'll gain no net benefit from working, they're incentivized to remain on government assistance. Of course, people work for many reasons, including societal norms and personal values. But income is a major incentive to pursuing employment.
Also, not true in this scenario. It has been shown consistently that people will work because they want to work. Income rarely has anything to do with it, mostly because, think about it, like, even in countries where there is social security, where there is whatever, and there is like a higher pay, like say America, people will work in lower paying jobs like a teacher because they're passionate about teaching. A teacher never works as a teacher because she wants money, or like they pursuing employment for income is whatever. The non-stop production of rice and wheat has caused water problems in Punjab, and the reason they have become cancers. Roman, you are fucking stupid. Also, you fucking idiot. Rice doesn't grow in fucking Punjab. Jesus Christ, how stupid people come here. Like, how about, I understand there is no grok on YouTube, but like, if that's the only way you would understand, go on Twitter, do grok, and come back here. And dare you call a state in India cancer? Twat. Link. Show me the link. Show me the link where they are saying that it has caused a problem in Punjab and because of it, it's a cancer state of India. Show me. You can say because of overproduction, the water levels have gone down. Because of overproduction, we have issues within, like say, like people don't get enough water because they are being overexploited. Yes, that I would agree with you. I would not ever agree with you if you're calling them a cancer state of India. Jesus, if you, okay, as a rule, I need all of you to be writing a little bit more descriptively, because you're gonna get screamed at. Because become cancer state of India is something very bad thing to say, you know. Yes, I know they have a higher rate of cancer because the government is not taking care of them, because they need more social safety nets for avoiding these things. They need more social safety nets against stubble burning. Stubble burning, for example, does lead to cancer. You know, the best way to avoid stubble burning is governments can just as easily buy the stubble from those people. It just needs initiative. There is no initiative. And people really need to push this idea forward that, hey, we need to start protesting for this kind of stuff. We need to start asking for this kind of stuff. If that doesn't happen, it's going to be a fucking problem.
And when less people take on new jobs, the economy slows down, keeping people in poverty and potentially pushing people on the cusp of poverty over the edge. Some have suggested this feedback loop could be removed by eliminating government assistance programs altogether.
That is literally the worst thing possible, eliminating assistance programs. Like, what the fuck? Like, some capitalist economist has said this, and he's just going to be the worst person you can possibly ever meet.
But most agree this solution is neither realistic.
Yes, that is the point, right? Yes, I was a bit wrong. I should have said fertilizers. You're correct, Rowan. It is because of fertilizers and pesticides used in farm production. But the way to combat that is to have better laws around it, is to provide safety measures, is like safety equipment, more equipment. People are still being forced into doing manual labor without safety equipments. You can see it with the people who clean sewers in India. They are just sent in directly. That's why unionization is important. That's why you need to force the government to provide these things for you, especially if you're working as a farmer, especially if you're working in these fields that the entire country depends on. See, that's the whole point, right? We're talking about socialism and social welfare schemes. That's the reason why these things should go that way. That like you need to be able to talk about these things and you need to be able to ask for these things.
Nor humane. So how can we redesign benefits in a way that doesn't penalize people for working? Many countries have tried different ways to circumvent this problem. Some allow people to continue receiving benefits for a given period after finding a job, while others phase out benefits gradually as income increases. These policies still remove some financial incentive to work, but the risk of a welfare trap is lower. Other governments provide benefits like education, childcare, or medical care equally across all their citizens.
That is good.
One
That is what's
proposed
supposed to
solution takes
happen.
this idea of universal benefits even further. A universal basic income would provide a fixed benefit to all members of society, regardless of wealth or employment.
This is something that I will always bat for. This is something that I will always be supporting. If you have been on with me on Twitter, if you have been with me on the last live, or if you have just known me before all of this, universal basic income is the most important thing that you can have to raise a population from poverty to at least the middle class to being able to live normally. I'm not even going to say comfortably, like having like 2 meals a day. You need basic income, especially in a country like India. And it has shown to work over and over and over again. We are going to get to it.
Status. This is the only known policy that could entirely remove welfare traps, since any
That is
earned
true.
wages would supplement the benefit rather than replace it. In fact, by creating a stable income floor below which no one can fall, basic income might prevent people from falling into poverty in the first place. Numerous economists and thinkers have championed this idea since the 18th century. But for now, universal basic income remains largely hypothetical. Although
You know
it's been
why?
tried in
It remains largely hypothetical, not because we don't have the money, we do. It's because of billionaires. It's because of people hoarding so much money that they don't let it go. It's because even like NGOs become like money hoarding schemes for billionaires.
some places on a limited scale, these local experiments don't tell us much about how the policy would play out across an entire nation or a planet. Whatever strategy governments pursue, solving the welfare trap requires respecting people's agency and autonomy. Only by empowering individuals to create long-term change in their lives and communities can we begin to break the cycle of poverty. Agency is a type of power that comes from the marriage of action and choice. But what exactly is power? What role does it play in society? Is there a way to acquire and use it responsibly? Learn more with this video.
Okay, what we are going to do right now is move on to this video. This is something that happened, was pushed out 3 days ago by TED. It is an extremely good video and I would like everyone to watch it. Please be attentive towards this video. I will not break it. I might break it because I don't want to be like copyright struck. So I will break it like in a bit, like in like 2 minutes or something. But I'm not going to like cut in the middle too much of this, okay?
In 2018, a nonprofit gave every adult in Western Kenya's Ahenyo village $500. Most of their families had lived in extreme poverty for generations, and this sum was roughly
I'm gonna go take a piss. Excuse me, guys.
equivalent to most recipients' annual salaries. Despite all this, the money came with no strings attached outside a commitment to speak with researchers after 2 years. They hoped this influx of cash would lift the villagers out of poverty, but they also knew this could easily be the latest in a long line of failed philanthropic interventions. In the 1960s, charitable organizations began ramping up their philanthropic efforts, spending billions funding education, job training, agricultural development, infrastructure projects, and healthcare programs in attempts to help poor countries. These programs hoped to create a springboard of knowledge and capital that would foster financial independence and bolster struggling economies. But when economists started studying this kind of aid in the late 90s and early 2000s, they made some surprising discoveries. After running various randomized control trials where one group received education or job training and another group did not, the researchers found this kind of aid often had minimal impact. School supplies failed to improve education, job training didn't always raise incomes, and the benefits of nutrition education varied dramatically from group to group. These disappointing results even extended to newer philanthropic models. At this time, many theorists advocated heavily for microfinance, a model that offered small loans to aspiring entrepreneurs in weak economies. But while microfinance recipients consistently repaid their loans with interest, the programs failed to meaningfully raise their incomes. All these failures led researchers to consider a strategy many considered ridiculous: direct cash giving. Most philanthropists saw this approach as the worst kind of short-sighted philanthropy. They assumed recipients would quickly spend the cash and then end up back where they started. But when researchers returned to Ahenyo 2 years later, the results were astonishing. Business revenues were up 65%. Families saved more and ate more. Kids were doing better in school. There was less alcoholism, depression, domestic violence, and
See, this is why I keep saying income works. You need universal basic income at every stage of life. If you don't have it, you're going to suffer. The whole idea behind capitalistic grifting is not true. Like, there is no such thing as grifting to survive. Every single capitalist who tells you that has gotten a loan from someone that they knew without without interest, has gotten a handout at some point, and that's why they have grown. You cannot do that because you don't know rich people, your parents aren't rich. Even like the whole self-made millionaires are not self-made, not one of them. They always have someone rich supporting them. So the problem here is, without a universal basic income, there is not going to be any growth for you. You can't come out of poverty without it, because you are not going to have a stable life. You're always going to have to fight for survival, and that is not a good way to live.
inequality between families. And these impacts weren't unique to Aenyo. Since this study, direct cash giving has become one of the most researched poverty interventions, and it's consistent.
Before anything, this is just a PSA because I need to learn how to keep saying this. Like, share, and subscribe if you can. Share this thing if you like it, and just share it with other places than just Twitter. Thank you.
Shown impacts that often exceed traditional aid programs. In fact, a subsequent study spanning hundreds of Kenyan villages found the surrounding economy grew by more than twice what was given out just a year after the cash transfers. However, direct cash giving isn't a silver bullet. Poverty is a generational issue that requires long-term changes to solve. And since this intervention is relatively new, we still don't fully understand the effects of cash giving on extended timelines. For example, a Ugandan study beginning in 2008 found that while a cash transfer improved some families' earnings over the first 4 years, the positive effect disappeared after the next 5 years. Then it returned again under the pressure of the COVID-19 pandemic. Clearly, we still have a lot to learn about how
There is no lot to learn. It just means people were more secure.
cash giving unfolds over time. But regardless of what we learn in the future, the theory for why direct cash giving works can help change how we think about poverty today. Where traditional aid programs assume that philanthropists have the best knowledge of a community's needs, cash giving programs believe the people experiencing poverty best understand what they need to escape it.
That is true.
For
That's
example,
where direct cash
perhaps
always
for
works.
one person, repairing their home is more important to long-term success than starting a new business. And for another, ensuring their child can finish school might allow them to bring in more money in the future. Fortunately, we can afford this kind of help. Today, wealthy countries spend $200 billion a year in international aid, and philanthropists have $1.5 trillion more sitting in private foundations. We already have the means to eliminate extreme poverty, but doing so will require these institutions to trust the expertise of the people actually living in these conditions. So, how can we design programs that actually help lift people out of generational poverty? Take a look at the paradox of welfare programs and find out what we can do to fix them with
We
this
already
video.
saw this. See, at the end of the day, you have to understand one thing, and one thing is always going to be the same. If you want to take people out of poverty, you need socialistic welfare structures like basic income, basic healthcare, and universal basic income and universal healthcare. You do not need subsidies of 3 trillion for big tech. See, as they said, as someone who grew up in and is still experiencing a form of poverty, a lump sum of money helps a ton because they can prioritize, they can pay their bills, they can fix their car, they can get checked up for like diseases and prevent future money sinks. This is important. A lot of times when you talk to, let's say, capitalist economists, they are not going to address any of this because they know it's going to actually help people. There's a reason why you don't believe economists, because they always have an agenda of making more money. And the best way to make money in a capitalistic system is to ignore people, is to exploit them. They're never going to have a welfare state where they are helping people out. Only unionists do that, only communists do that, only socialists do that. You cannot expect a capitalist to save you from poverty because their whole basis of economics is based on exploiting the poor. And you are the poor, trust me. When they say